Hi guys, I'm back. Today is the 8th of July 2021. Today I'm going to read Numbers 4 to 8, Proverbs 8 and Psalm 48. Let's get started. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Count the Levites who belong to the family of Kohath. Make a list of them family by family. Count all of the men 30 to 50 years old. Those are the men who must come and serve at the tent meeting. Here's the work the men of Kohath must do at the tent meeting. They must take care of the things that are very holy. When the camp is ready to move, Aaron and his sons must go into the tent. They must take down the curtain that hides the ark where the tablet so the covenant law are kept. And they must cover the ark with the curtain. Then they must cover that with a strong leather. They must spread a solid blue cloth over the leather, and they must put the poles in place. They must spread a blue cloth over the table for the holy bread. They must put the plates, dishes, and bowls on the cloth. They must also put the jars for drink offerings on it. The bread that is always kept there must remain on it. They must spread a bright red cloth over everything. Then they must cover that with a strong leather. And they must put the poles of the table in place. They must get a blue cloth. With it they must cover the lampstand that gives light. They must also cover its lamps, trays, and wood covers. And they must cover all its jars. The jars are for the olive oil used in the lampstand. Then Aaron and his sons must wrap the lampstand and all the things used with it. They must cover it with a strong leather, and they must put it on a frame to carry. They must spread a blue cloth over the gold altar for burning incense. They must cover that with a strong leather, and they must put the poles of the altar in place. They must cover all the things used for serving in the sacred tent. They must wrap them in a blue cloth. They must cover that with a strong leather. Then they must put those things on a frame to carry them. They must remove the ashes from the bronze altar for burnt offerings. They must spread a purple cloth over it. Then they must place all the tools on it. The tools are used for serving at the altar. They include the pans for carrying ashes. These include the meat forks, shovels, and sprinkling bowls. Aaron and his sons must cover the altar with the strong leather, and they must put its poles in place. Aaron and his sons must cover all the holy things that belong to the holy tent. Only then are the men of Kohath to come and carry everything. They must do so only when the camp is ready to move. But they must not touch the holy things. If they do, they will die. The men of Kohath must carry everything in the tent meeting. Eleazar the priest will be in charge of the olive oil for the wine. He is the son of Aaron. Eleazar will be in charge of the sweet-smelling incense. He will be in charge of the regular grain offering and the anointing oil. He will be in charge of the entire holy tent. He will also be in charge of everything in it. That includes all the things that belong to the tent. The Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron. He said, "Make sure that the Kohath families are not destroyed from among the Levites. I want them to live and not die when they come near the very holy things. So here's what you must do for them." Aaron and his sons must go into the sacred tent and tell each man what to do. They must tell each man what to carry. But the men of Kohath must not go in and look at the holy things. They must not look at them even for a moment. If they do, they will die. The Lord said to Moses, "Count the families of Gershon. Make a list of them family by family. Count all of the men 30 to 50 years old. Those are the men who must come and serve at the tent meeting. Here's how the families of Gershon must serve. They must carry things. They must carry the curtains of the holy tent meeting. They must carry its covering and the outside covering of strong leather. They must carry the curtains that cover the entrance to the tent meeting. They must carry the curtains of the courtyard. The courtyard is all around the holy tent and altar. They must carry the curtain for the entrance. They must carry the ropes. They must also carry all the supplies used for any purpose in the tent. The families of Gershon must do everything that needs to be done with those things. All their work must be done under the direction of Aaron and his sons. That includes carrying and everything else they do. Aaron and his sons must tell them what to carry, and that will be their work. It is what the families of Gershon must do at the tent meeting. They must work under the direction of Ithamar the priest. He is the son of Aaron. Count the families of Merari. Count the family by family. Count all the men 30 to 50 years old. These are the men who must come and serve at the tent meeting. Here's the work they must do at the tent meeting. They must carry the frames of the holy tent. They must carry its crossbars, posts, and bases. They must also carry the posts of the courtyard. The courtyard is all around the holy tent, and they must carry the bases for the posts as well as the tent stakes and ropes. They must also carry all the supplies and everything connected with their use. Tell each man exactly what to carry. That is the work of the families of Merari must do at the tent of meeting. They must work under the direction of Ithamar the priest. He is the son of Aaron. Moses, Aaron, and the leaders of the community counted the men of Kohath. They counted them family by family. They counted all the men from 30 to 50 years old. They were the 10 men who came and served at the tent of meeting. There were 2,750 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of all the men in the families of Kohath who served at the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. The men of Gershon were counted family by family. All the men 30 to 50 years old were counted. They were the 10 men who came and served at the tent of meeting. They were 2,630 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of the men in the families of Gershon who served at the tent of meeting. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded. The men of Merari were counted family by family. All the men from 30 to 50 years old were counted. They were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. There were 3,200 men. They were counted family by family. That was the total of the men in the families of Merari. Moses and Aaron counted them. They did just as the Lord had commanded through Moses. Moses and Aaron counted all the Levites. The leaders of Israel helped them. They counted the Levites family by family. All the men from 30 to 50 years old were counted. They were the men who came and served at the tent of meeting. They were also supposed to carry. The total number of men was 8,580. The total number of men was 8,580. Everything was done as the Lord had commanded through Moses. Each man was given his work, and each one was told what to carry. So they were counted, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "Tell the Israelites that certain people must be sent away from the camp. Command them to send away anyone who has a skin disease. They must send away all those who have liquid waste coming from their bodies. And they must send away those who are unclean, because they have touched a dead body. That applies to men and women alike. Send them out of the camp. They must not make their camp unclean. That is where I live among them." So the Israelites did what the Lord commanded. They sent out of the camp those who were unclean. They did just as the Lord had directed Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites. Say to them, suppose a man or woman does something wrong to someone else, and then that person is not being faithful to the Lord. People like that are guilty. They must admit they have committed sin. They must pay in full for what they do wrong, and they must add a fifth of the value to it. Then they must give all of it to the person they've sinned against. But suppose that person has died, and suppose that person does not have a close relative who can be paid for the sin that was committed. Then what is paid belongs to the Lord. It must be given to the priest. The ram must be given along with it. The ram must be sacrificed to the Lord to pay for the sin. And all the sacred gifts the Israelites bring to the priest will belong to him. Sacred gifts belong to their owners, but what they give to the priest will belong to the priest. Then the Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "Speak to the Israelites. Say to them, suppose a man's wife goes astray, and suppose she is not faithful to her husband. Suppose another man has sex with her, and suppose this is hidden from her husband. No one knows that she is not clean, so there is no witness against her, and she has not been caught in the act. Suppose her husband becomes jealous. He does not trust his wife, and she is really unclean. Or suppose he does not trust her, even though she is clean. Then he must take his wife to the priest. He must also bring an offering. It must be 8 cups of barley flour. The offering is for his wife. He must not pour olive oil on it, and he must not put incense on it. It is a grain offering for being jealous. It calls attention to the wrong things a person has done. The priest must have a stand in front of the Lord. He must pour some holy water into a clay jar. He must get some dust from the floor of the holy tent, and he must put it into the water. The priest must have the woman stand in front of the Lord. He must untie her hair. He must place in her hands the offering that calls attention to the wrong things a person has done. It is the grain offering for being just. The priest must keep the bitter water with him. It is the water that brings a curse. Then the priest must have the woman give her word. He must say to her, suppose no other man has had sex with me, and suppose you haven't gone astray. You have kept yourself pure while you were married to your husband. Then may the bitter water that brings a curse not harm you. But suppose you have gone astray while you are married to a husband. You have made yourself unclean. You have had sex with a man who isn't your husband. At that point, the priest must put the woman under the curse that will come if she breaks her word. She must say, may the Lord cause you to become a curse among your people. You will become a curse when the Lord makes your body unable to have children. May this water that brings a curse into your body, may it make your body unable to have children. Then the woman must say, Amen, let it happen. The priest must write the curses on the skull. He must wash them off in the bitter water. It is bitter water that it is the water that he will make the woman drink. It is bitter water that brings curse. It will enter her body, and it will cause her to suffer bitterly. The priest must take from her the hands the grain offering for being jealous. He must lift it up and wave it in front of the Lord. He must bring it to the altar. Then the priest must take a handful of the grain offering. It is the offering that calls attention to the wrong things a person has done. The priest must burn it on the altar. After that, he must have the woman drink the water. Suppose she has made herself unclean. She has not been faithful to her husband, and she has drunk the water that brings a curse. Then it will go into her body. It will cause her to suffer bitterly. It will make her body unable to have children. She will become a curse. Suppose the woman has not made herself unclean, but suppose she is clean. Then she will be free of guilt, and she will be able to have children. This is the law about being jealous. It applies to a woman who has gone astray. She has made herself unclean while she is married to her husband. And it applies to a man who becomes jealous. She has doubts about his wife. The priest must have her stand in front of the law. He must apply the entire law to her. The husband will not be guilty of doing anything wrong, but the woman will be punished for her sin. The Lord said to Moses, say to the Israelites, suppose a man or woman wants to make a special promise. They want to set themselves apart to the Lord for a certain period of time. They want to be Nazarites. Then they must not drink any kind of wine. They must not drink vinegar made out of wine or of any kind. They must not drink grape juice. They must not eat grapes or raisins. As long as they are Nazarites, they must not eat anything grapevines produce. They must not even eat the seeds or skins of grapes. They must not use razors on their heads. They must not cut their hair during the whole time they set themselves apart to the Lord. They must be holy until that time is over. They must let the hair on their heads grow long, and they must not go near a dead body during that whole time. And what if their father or mother dies? Or what if their brother or sister dies? Then they must not make themselves unclean because of them. The hair on their heads shows they are set apart for God. During the whole time they are set apart, they are holy to the Lord. Suppose someone dies suddenly in front of them. That makes the hair they have set apart to the Lord unclean. So they must shave their heads on the day they will be made clean. And that is the seventh day. And then on the eighth day they must bring 2 doves. Or they can bring 2 young pigeons. They must bring them to the priest. They will be at the entrance to the tent of meeting. The priest must offer one of the birds as a sin offering, and he must offer the other as a burnt offering. The sacrifices will pay for the sin of the Nazarite man or woman. They sin for being near a dead body. That same day they must make their heads holy again. They must set themselves apart to the Lord again. They must do it for the same period of time they agreed to at first. And they must bring a male lamb a year old as a guilt offering. The days before that do not count. That is because they became unclean during the time they were set apart. The time when the Nazarites are set apart will come to an end. Here's the law that applies to them at that time. They must be brought to the entrance to the tent of meeting. There they must present the offerings to the Lord. They must bring a male lamb a year old. It must not have any flaws. It is for a burnt offering. Then they must bring a female lamb a year old. It must not have any flaws. It is for a sin offering. And they must bring a ram that does not have any flaws. It is for a friendship offering. They must sacrifice the offerings together with their grain offerings and drink offerings. And they must also bring a basket of bread made with the finest flour. The bread must be made without yeast. The offering must include thick loaves with olive oil mixed in, and it must also include thin loaves brushed with olive oil. The priest must bring all these things to the Lord. He must sacrifice the sin offering and the burnt offering. He must bring the basket of bread made without yeast, and he must sacrifice the ram. It will be a friendship offering to the Lord. The priest must bring it together with his grain offering and drink offering. Then the Nazarites must shave off the hair that shows they have set themselves apart to the Lord. They must do it at the entrance to the tent of meeting, and they must put the hair in the fire that burns the sacrifice of the friendship offering. After the Nazarites have shaved off their hair, the priest must take a boiled shoulder of the ram. He must remove one thick loaf and one thin loaf from the basket, and they must be made without yeast. And he must place the shoulder and the bread in the hands of the Nazarites. Then he must lift up the shoulder and bread and wave them in front of the Lord. They are a wave offering. They are holy and belong to the priest. Other parts of the ram belong to the priest as well. They are the breast that was waved and the thigh that was offered. After the offering is waved, the Nazarites may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarites. They promise to sacrifice offerings to the Lord. They do it when they set themselves apart. And they should bring anything else they can afford. They must fulfill the promises they have made. They must do so according to the law of the Nazarites. The Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "Tell Aaron and his sons, here is how I want you to bless the Israelites. Say to them, may the Lord bless you and take good care of you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord look on you with favor and give you peace. In that way, they will put the blessing of my name on the Israelites, and I will bless them." Moses finished setting up the holy tent. Then he anointed it with olive oil. He set it apart to the Lord. He did the same thing with everything that belonged to it. He also anointed the altar. Then he set apart to the Lord the altar and all its tools. Then the leaders of Israel brought their offerings. The leaders were the heads of their families. They were the leaders of their tribes. They were in charge of the band who had been counted. They brought gifts to the Lord. They brought 6 covered carts and 12 oxen. Each leader gave an ox, and every 2 leaders gave a cart. They put their gifts in front of the holy tent. The Lord said to Moses, "Accept the gifts from the leaders. I want their gifts to be used in the work at the tent of meeting. Give them to the Levites. They need them to do their work." So Moses gave the carts and the oxen to the Levites. He gave 2 carts and 4 oxen to the men from the family of Gershon. They needed them to do their work. He gave 4 carts and 8 oxen to the men from the family of Merari. They needed them to do their work. All these men were under the direction of Ithamar the priest. He was the son of Aaron, but Moses didn't give any carts or oxen to the men from the family of Kohath. They had to carry the holy things on their shoulders. They were responsible for the holy things. And the altar was anointed. The leaders brought their offerings. They placed them in front of the altar. They brought their offerings in order to set apart the altar. The Lord had spoken to Moses. He had said, "Each day one leader must bring his offering. He must bring it in order to set apart the altar." On the first day, Nashon, the son of Amminadab, brought his offering. Nashon was from the tribe of Judah. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weights used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Nashon brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb, a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs, a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Nashon, the son of Amminadab, brought as his offering. On the second day, Nethanel, the son of Zuar, brought his offering. Nethanel was the leader of the tribe of Isaac. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weights used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Nethanel brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb, a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. Now is everything that Nathaniel, the son of Zuar, brought as his offering. On the 3rd day, Eliab, the son of Helon, brought his offering. Eliab was the leader of the people of Zebulun. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weight used in the sacred. Each plate and bowl was filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil. He was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Eliab brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Eliab, the son of Helon, brought as his offering. On the 4th day, Eleazar, the son of Shador, brought his offering. Eleazar was the leader of the people of Reuben. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. They both were weighed according to the standard weight used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Eleazar brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Eleazar, the son of Shador, brought as his offering. On the 5th day, Shelemiah, the son of Zurishaddai, brought his offering. Shelemiah was the leader of the people of Simeon. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weights used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Shelemiah brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Shelemiah, the son of Zurishaddai, brought as his offering. On the 6th day, Eliasaph, the son of Deuel, brought his offering. Eliasaph was the leader of the people of Gad. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weights used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Eliasaph brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Eliasaph, the son of Deuel, brought as his offering. On the 7th day, Elishama, the son of Ammihud, brought his offering. Elishama was the leader of the people of Ephraim. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weight used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with the finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Elishama brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Elishama, the son of Ammihud, brought as his offering. On the 8th day, Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur, brought his offering. Gamaliel was the leader of the people of Manasseh. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weight used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with the fine flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He also brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Gamaliel brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. Now everything that Gamaliel, the son of Pedazur, brought as his offering. On the 9th day, Abidan, the son of Gideoni, brought as his offering. Abidan was the leader of the people of Benjamin. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weights used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Abidan brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Abidan, the son of Gideoni, brought as his offering. On the 10th day, Ahijah, the son of Ammishaddai, brought his offering. Ahijah was the leader of the people of Tyre. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces, and the sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weights used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Ahijah brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Ahijah, the son of Ammishaddai, brought as his offering. On the 11th day, Pagiel, the son of Ochran, brought his offering. Pagiel was the leader of the people of Asher. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both were weighed according to the standard weights used in the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with finest flour mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Pagiel brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Pagiel, the son of Ochran, brought as his offering. On the 12th day, Ahira, the son of Anan, brought his offering. Ahira was the leader of the people of Naphtali. He brought 1 silver plate and 1 silver sprinkling bowl. The plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. The sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. Both are weighed according to the standard weights used on the sacred tent. Each plate and bowl was filled with the finest flour and mixed with olive oil. It was a grain offering. He brought 1 gold dish that weighed 4 ounces. It was filled with incense. Ahira brought 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb a year old. They would be sacrificed as a burnt offering. He brought 1 male goat to be sacrificed as a sin offering. He brought 2 oxen, 5 rams, and 5 male goats. He also brought 5 male lambs a year old. All of them would be sacrificed as a friendship offering. That was everything that Ahira, the son of Anan, brought as his offering. Those were the offerings the Israelite leaders brought. They gave them to set the altar apart when it was anointed with olive oil. They gave 12 silver plates, 12 silver sprinkling bowls, and 12 gold dishes. Each plate weighed 3 pounds 4 ounces. Each sprinkling bowl weighed 1 pound 12 ounces. The total weight of the silver dishes was 60 pounds. Everything was weighed according to the standard weights used in the sacred tent. Each of the 12 gold dishes weighed 4 ounces. They were filled with incense. They were weighed according to the weights used in the sacred tent. The total weight of the gold dishes was 3 pounds. The leaders brought 12 young bulls, 12 rams, and 12 male lambs a year old. That was the total number of animals they gave for the burnt offering. They gave them together with the grain offering. They brought 12 male goats for the sin offering. The leaders brought 24 oxen, 60 rams, 60 male goats, and 60 male lambs a year old. That was the total number of animals sacrificed as a friendship offering. Those were the offerings they brought to set apart the altar. The leaders brought them after the altar was anointed with olive oil. Moses entered the tent meeting. He wanted to speak with the Lord. There Moses heard the Lord talking to him. The Lord's voice was speaking to him from between the two cherubim. The cherubim were over the place where sin is paid for. It was the cover on the ark where the tablets of the covenant law were kept. In this way the Lord spoke to Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron, set up the 7 lamps. They'll light up the area in front of the lampstand." So Aaron did. He set up the lamps so that they faced forward on the lampstand. He did just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The lampstand was made out of hammered gold. From its base to its flames, it was made out of hammered gold. The lampstand was made exactly like the pattern the Lord had shown Moses. The Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "Take the Levites from among all the Israelites. Make them clean in the usual way. Here's how to make them pure. Sprinkle the special water on them, then have them shave their whole bodies. First have them wash their clothes, and that is how they'll make themselves pure. Have them get a young bull along with its grain offering. The offering must be made out of the finest flour mixed with olive oil. Then you must get a second young bull. You must sacrifice it as a sin offering. Bring the Levites to the front of the tent meeting. Gather the whole community of Israel together. And you must bring the Levites to me. The Israelites must place their hands on them. Aaron must bring the Levites to me. They are a wave offering from the Israelites. That is how they will be set apart to do my work. Then I want the Levites to place their hands on the heads of the bulls. They must sacrifice one bull as a sin offering to me. Then they must sacrifice the other as a burnt offering. The blood of the bulls will pay for the sin of the Levites. Have the Levites stand in front of Aaron and his sons. Then give them as a wave offering to me. That is how I want you to set apart the Levites from the other Israelites. The Levites will belong to me. Make the Levites pure. Give them to me as a wave offering. Then they must come to do their work at the tent of meeting. They are the Israelites who will be given to me completely. I have taken them to be my own. I have taken them in place of every son born first in his family in Israel. Every male born first in Israel belongs to me. That is true whether it is a human or an animal. In Egypt I struck down all the males born first to their mothers. Then I set apart for myself all the males born first in Israel. And I have taken the Levites in place of all the sons born first in Israel. I have given the Levites as gifts to Aaron and his sons. I have taken them from among all the Israelites. I have appointed them to do the work at the tent of meeting. They will do it in place of the Israelites. That is how they'll keep the Israelites from being guilty when they go near the sacred tent. Then no plague will strike the Israelites when they go near the tent. So Moses and Aaron and all the Israelites did with the Levites just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The Levites made themselves pure. They washed their clothes. Then Aaron gave them to the Lord as a wave offering. That's how he paid for their sin to make them pure. After that, the Levites came to do their work at the tent of meeting. They worked under the direction of Aaron and his sons. And so Moses and Aaron and the whole community of Israel did it with the Levites, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. The Lord said to Moses, "Here's what the Levites must do. The men 25 years old or more must come and take part in the work at the tent of meeting. But when they reach the age of 50, they must not work any longer. They must stop doing their regular work. They can still help their brothers with their duties at the tent of meeting, but they themselves should not do the work. That is how you must direct the Levites to do their work." Proverbs 8. Doesn't wisdom call out? Doesn't understanding raise her voice? At the highest point along the way, she takes her place with the pathways. Beside the gate leading into the city, she cries out at the entrance. She said, Before I go out to eat, I raise my voice to a human being. You who are childish, get some good sense. You who are foolish, set your hearts on getting. Listen, I have things to say that you can depend on. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true. My lips I hate evil. All the words of my mouth are honest. None of them is twisted or simple. To those who have understanding, all my words are right. To those who have found knowledge, they are true. Choose my teaching instead of silver. Choose knowledge rather than finding gold. Wisdom is worth more than rubies. Nothing you want can compare with her. I hate wisdom, live together with understanding. I have knowledge and good sense. To have respect for the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and bragging. I hate evil ways and twisted words. I hate good sense. I have good sense and give good advice. I have understanding and power. By me kings rule. The easier to make laws that are fair. By me princes and nobles govern. It is by me that anyone rules on earth. I love those who love me. Those who look for me find me. With me are riches and honor. With me are lasting wealth and success. My food is better than fine gold. My gifts are better than the finest silver. I walk in ways that are honest. I take paths that are right. I leave riches to those who love me. I will give them more than they have room for. The Lord created me as the first of his works, before his acts of longer. I was formed a long, long time ago. I was formed at the very beginning, when the world was created. Before there were any oceans, I was born. It was before there were springs flowing with water. Before the mountains were settled in place, I was born. Before there were any hills, I was born. It happened before the Lord made the world and its fields. It was before he made the dust of the earth. I was there when he set the heavens in place. When he marked out the place where the sky meets the sea, I was there. That was when he put the clouds above. It was when he fixed the ocean springs in place. It was when he set limits for the sea so that the waters had to obey his command. So when the Lord marked out the foundations of the earth, I was there. I was constantly out of sight. I was filled with delight day after day. I was always happy to be with him. His whole world filled me with joy. I took delight in all human beings. My children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my voice. Listen to my teaching and be wise. Don't turn away from me. Blessed are those who listen to me. They watch every day at my doors. They wait beside my doorway. Those who find me find life. They receive blessing from the Lord. Those who don't find me harm only themselves. Everyone who hates me loves death. Proverb, Psalm 41. Blessed are those who care about weak people. When they are in trouble, the Lord saves them. The Lord guards them and keeps them alive. They are counted among those who are blessed in the land. The Lord will hand them over to the wishes of their enemies. The Lord will take care of them when they are lying sick in bed. He will make them well. I said, Lord, have mercy on me. Heal me because I have sinned against you. My enemies are saying bad things about me. They say, when will he die and his name will be forgotten? When one of them comes to see me, he says things that are untrue. At the same time, he thinks up lies to tell against me. Then he goes out and spreads those lies around. All my enemies whisper to each other about me. They want something terrible to happen to me. They say, he is sick and will die very soon. He will never get up from his bed again. Even my close friend, someone I trusted, has failed me. I even share my bread with him. Lord, may you have mercy on me. Make me well so I can pay them back. Then I will know that you are pleased with me. Because my enemies haven't won the battle over me. You will take good care of me because I've been honest. You will let me be with you forever. Give praise to the God of Israel forever and ever. Amen and amen. Now that's done, I shall now do the Lord's Prayer. Let's bow your heads. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as you also forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.